All right.
Was that all right for me?
That one is, yeah. All right. How you doing?
Sound all right to the
Well, I am sounding all right to you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm sweet. Nice one. So are we recording?
Yeah.
All right. That's a bad start then, isn't it?
No, it's brilliant. It's real. We're live and on air, and it's the Ultimate Fighting Chat podcast. And today we're going to have a chat about UFC 270, Ngannou versus Gane, which took place on the 22nd of January in Anaheim, California. Now, this was not too bad, this card, was it? I mean, not the names on it, but it turned out it was actually all right compared to the last one. That stunk a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, this was. I found this far more enjoyable. There wasn't much name value on the card, but you know, at a glance, it's not one you'd get excited about. But I think
that's right.
They always think that they can get away. You know, you put a heavyweight title fight at the top. Don't matter if it's, you know, even got Fabrizio Verdum in it. If you put a heavyweight title fight at the top, you can basically get away with charging some pay-per-view for it. So
Verdum fights are brilliant.
Yeah,
he doesn't have face.
And he always, he used to come out with that boot towards the end of his career. He always came out, didn't he, trying to knock someone out with a flying boot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, brilliant. So he's brilliant. Does he still fight?
I think he had some fights outside the UFC, but I don't know. I've not had one for a while.
Look, you've not.
He's probably working the comedy circuit, right? With Happy Face.
Well,
what was that? Happy Face?
Happy Face. Yeah, it would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He should. It's you know, he's got what do you call it? A golden nugget in his pocket. I really couldn't think of that. Yeah. Okay. Well, what's it called? What am I looking for then? The sort of saying I'm looking for. He's got a dynamite nugget or something like that.
All right. We'll just move on from that.
All right. Look, I'm going to presume that you haven't watched the early prelims.
You presume correct.
Right. Well, it ain't going to take me too long to go through them, obviously, because there was only 2 anyway.
Yeah.
The 2 in question are K OnlyFans Hansen. Oh,
is that actually her nickname? Is it?
No.
OnlyFans. All right. I was going to say to you, because she does OnlyFans, doesn't she? But anyway,
that's right. Yeah. Don't they all? Ain't you? Have you seen it? The OnlyFans.
I think I sent you a picture of one of the pictures
okay.
that got leaked. I mean, I don't understand this OnlyFans stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that you pay lady to see some content of her that's supposed to be exclusive in some way, shape, or form, right? Whether it be, I don't know, a photo of her in a swimsuit, whether it's a photo of her without a swimsuit, whether it's a photo of her feet, I don't know. But isn't that the concept? I ain't trying to come across all. I'm not trying to come across all innocent here. Like I get the idea of OnlyFans, but I just don't understand why something like that exists in this day and age when you've got more filth at your fingertips than at any time in human history. So why you will pay Kay Hansen $7 for a picture of her in a bathing suit is beyond me. But
you haven't got to. Obviously, that's the first thing. As you know, but. I understand your principles, and I think your principles are right. It's just a way for people to make money and keep it on the back burner unless you want to see it. I don't know. They're all doing it, isn't they? I mean, Hansen's doing it. Didn't you say Cahaya's doing it? Betches.
I know that someone paid her, or I'm sure I heard she said that someone paid her for a used training socks or something like that. Said, you know, ship me over your used training socks and I'll give you a $5 or whatever. Look, I ain't gonna look down on anyone that does that, because at the end of the day, if someone was saying to me they'll pay me $7 to see me in my kicks, then, you know, no problem.
Listen, I agree with you.
Not everything for $7. You know, I've got some principles, but you know, you can get most.
Yeah, but if they say they're not going to pay you just for you in your pants, but they'll pay you for you with the piece right out, helmet and everything, then what? You're just not going to do it, or you're going to go, okay, then?
No, I wouldn't be doing that.
There's no business to be had with just pants, is what I'm saying.
Well, then
it's got to be ripped right back.
No, it's not for me.
Not for you, no.
No.
Not even. Okay, what How much then?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't give you a number. Whatever it is, you haven't got it in your bank, so don't worry about it.
No, I'm not going to pay it. I'm just saying, how much would you want to earn?
A lot.
For knob out?
A lot.
A month.
A lot.
To make you do it. Yeah, well, what's the number?
Well, let's put it like this. Whatever amount it is, there is not enough people in the world who want to see it to generate that money income anyway. So forget it. It's not even worth discussing. Even if I said a $5, there ain't anybody out there who's going to pay a $5 for it, so it don't matter.
But you've got to presume that there is enough people. That's what I'm saying. If there was enough people, how much does it need to be a month? You don't have to go mad. You don't have to.
I don't want it out there. I don't want it out there.
All right. Well, that's it. So yeah, there's no amount then.
There's obviously an amount, but yeah, let's just say there's no amount so we can move on from this.
100 G's a month?
Oh, obviously.
So yes.
Yeah, obviously for 100 G's a month.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Where's it start a GoFundMe?
Yeah. Yeah, let's make this happen. There won't be much to see, will there, as they say? Anyway, there might be. I don't know. Early prelims. You ain't watched them. It turns out that they were both woman fights. So this one, Hansen versus Jasmine Jasudavivius. Help us out with that, will you? Jasudavivius. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard it. I never saw it. So, yeah.
Well, okay. Well, it was a unanimous decision to, I'm going to say, Jasmine. And, now it happened, really. One of them crap tweets came up, though, after round one saying 10-8, total domination. It was just really silly because nothing happened. Weed damage. I don't know. We've discussed this 10-8 thing before, what it should and shouldn't be or whatever. Not what it should and shouldn't be, because, of course, we don't know either. But it's just annoying that you haven't seen it because it definitely wasn't. Nothing happened. Even if she dominated the fight, as in she clearly won that round, as I said, it went 3 rounds, so there was no chance of it ever getting stopped or anything happening. Look, it weren't very good. The worst bit, most annoying bit was at the end. She did one of those really powerful, oh my God, Joe Rogan's, when she won the fight. And
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's becoming too much of a celebrity, isn't he? It's getting boring now. He's going to have to stop doing the post-fight interviews because he's
too big for it.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's just like, all they want to do is go, oh my God, I'm meeting Joe Rogan. It's a big deal. You do know he used to present Fear Factor, some absolute toilet show on Sci-Fi or whatever, you know what I mean?
I thought it was quite good, wasn't it?
It was actually pretty good, yeah. The second time was always amazing, like, eating worms or whatever, that kind of stuff. Yeah. It was brilliant, yeah. And he kind of beat one of the contestants up once, I think. One of the contestants was a bit of a plank.
But that's that fight. I'm not going to spend ages on the fight.
All right, we're not talking about.
I'm not going to do no more chats on Rogan.
Fair enough.
Right?
All right, go on in.
Because he comes up all the way.
All right.
But this was just really, 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 quite an embarrassing version of the, oh my God, it's Joe Rogan. Look, everybody, I'm chatting to Joe Rogan. I do get it, right? But I wouldn't do it just because loads of people do it. It's like what you said about the 50 G's baby. You wouldn't say it because it's been said by someone else. And you'd go, well, I don't want to keep repeating someone's thing. And it's the same as this. It's like, because everyone does it. Even if I was starstruck and I was going, oh my God, it's Rogan. I'm surely more excited about winning my fight, but he is a symbol of winning your fight, and he is the truth. So I think I would get excited, but no matter how excited I was, I don't think I'd do this. Oh my God, look, it's Joe Rogan thing, because everyone does it. Cool.
Yeah, you play it cool.
That's it. Exactly. Play it cool. That's it. That fight. I'm not chatting about it anymore because you ain't even seen it. So we'll just move straight on to the next early prelim. So that's one out of the way, a woman decision win. And the next one, well,
probably flows better if you say a female fight, doesn't it? A woman decision win don't sound right.
Well, they're not women.
They are women, yeah. But I'm just saying that. Does it sound right to you? It don't sound right to me. Say what you want, but
I didn't say it's
crap. Just grammatically, it just sounds a bit weird. That's all. Anyway,
yeah, maybe it's just I'll do a Bainbridge. I'm sorry, sir. It's just the way I talk.
Yeah.
I'll try and improve it, though. Okay. The next early prelim was another female fight, and it's Silvana La Malvada Gomez Juarez versus Vanessa Lil Monster Demopoulos. Now, what did you say ages ago about women fights?
Armbar or decision?
That's it. So we've had one decision, and then the next one was an armbar.
Yeah, classic. It looks like she cracked her good on the shot on the left. I mean, it looks like she's going to end up with a nose plastered on the other side of her.
Honestly,
face.
This fight, it weren't even that bad because it did end quick, and it was, I don't want to call it exciting, but it did have the tides turning. As you can see from the picture there, it's the winner that got cracked with the right hand and went down. But when she went down, she turned it around into an armbar. So it looked like she was going to lose. Spun it round. She gave it all the chat in the post-fight interview that she does. Oh yeah, I do jiu-jitsu all day long. So she's real at it. But then she also said in the same sentence that she heard her coach tell her to grab the leg, and that's how she got the armbar. Okay, well, I guess that's what coaches are for, though, right? You know what I mean? Anyway. Speaking of, oh my God, it's Joe Rogan's. By the way, no joke.
This I do know about.
It actually made for an all right fight. That's no joke. It was actually quite good. Someone got smashed, went down, turned it into an armbar. But I was just thinking of you going, I know what he's going to say. I told you. Anyway, so I don't know why you know this. I'm guessing it was on social media or something as you didn't see it. But...
Yeah, that she jumped up in Joe Rogan's arms, that she can do the splits because she's a pole dancer and all this sort of stuff. It all came out.
I don't remember her saying that bit.
I don't think she said it in the.
She didn't say it in that post-fight interview.
Yeah, but I think I've seen somewhere since that she was a pole dancer, and that's why she was there and stuff like that. So,
look, she really went to town with this. Oh my God, it's Joe Rogan thing. I mean, really went to town with it, as you can see just from the shots. I mean, she went mad with it. Mad with it.
Well, look, you're going to remember her now for the next fight. You can go, oh, she's the one who jumped up in Joe Rogan's arms, right? It'll probably even be on her highlight reel. So, it's just like when the first time I saw the shoey, I went, oh my God, I can't stand that. But the last time he done the shoey, I thought it was fantastic to Ivasa. So sometimes you've got to have a little bit of your shtick. And if hers is doing the splits and jumping up on the commentator's arms, I actually think it's not a bad one.
Okay.
Right. I quite like that picture in the bottom right, doing the, it looks like they're at the beach or something. It's a beach photo, but Rogan's got a microphone in his hand. So it's all right. It's not bad.
Okay, if that's
Rogan's face as well in the bottom picture, and look how happy. Looks like a happy granddad or something like that.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Like his granddaughter's just graduated or something like that. So honestly, quite good. If she's that happy, that big a moment in her life and all that, enjoy it.
I wouldn't do it, but I agree with you. It made for a bit of entertainment anyway after the fight. It was quite a good fight as well. So
you'd play it cool. That's the problem with you. You're just too cool.
Wouldn't you though?
I'd play it cool and all, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd actually probably just refuse to talk to Rogan.
Well, look,
I'd just like flipping the bird and then walk off or something.
What, to Rogan?
Yeah.
He'd bang you out.
Nah, he won't.
He'd throw you around like a kettlebell.
Nah, he won't.
He would.
Nah.
He would do that. If it's her thing, right? I'll say that. Let's just say the splits is her win pose. We haven't seen her win pose before because he said it was her first win. So I think she gets done. Because I did recognise the name, so I do think she's been in it and got done before.
Sure.
I think she definitely.
You might be right. Go on. Yeah, go on.
So if that's her win pose, and you're saying it's her thing, okay, that's fine. But will her thing be jumping into the presenter's arm? So, for example, will she do that with Bizzers? Will she do it with?
That's what I'm saying. I think she should. I think it's quite a good little thing. Yeah. You're right. She has lost to. She lost the UFC debut. So you are right. I'm wrong. You're brilliant. I'm crap. How about that?
No. Well, no, you didn't say I was wrong.
There's no two ways about it. Until I claw back some credibility, you're the expert.
Well, look, it's just as well, right? Because I watch those fights. That makes me the expert in this instance because you didn't watch them and I did. So we've got that on my side. Now we're going to move on to the fights that you have seen. This is just the normal prelims. What are early prelims then? Why'd they call them that? I wonder. Just because no one's in the arena.
They're the Fight Pass prelims, aren't they? So I guess they incentivize people signing up for Fight Pass. And I guess it's always good to have a couple of fights sort of hanging around at the back. So if you do have any sort of pullouts from the main card or the prelim card, which this card did have a couple of late withdrawals, you've kind of got a couple of people that you can just sort of shift up and down the card and sort of fix it. Because you had Rodolfo Vieira. He missed it. His fight was pulled, wasn't it, against Wellington Turner?
I don't know why, but I noticed
I think Vieira probably ran out of breath on his way to the weighing scales.
Didn't make it there. Said no, I can't even make it to round one.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe the go-to thing at the moment for cancellations is COVID in it. But I think there was a couple of fights that got pulled.
Jourdain bloke was on it.
That's it, Charles Jourdain.
To be honest,
he jumped in short notice to fight Topuria, didn't he? And then it was Topuria had to pull out.
Is it Topuria or is it Topuria or something like that? I mean, I don't know.
Might be Topuria. Yeah, so you've done me again.
I quite like Topuria though.
Yeah, well, I don't think Annie could be impressed with that pronunciation though.
Who was the other bloke that was fighting? He had a weird name, didn't he? Let me just check.
That was a good fight, by the way. Just quickly, Jourdain and.
He's brilliant.
Topuria.
Hang on, I'm going to have a look at the other bloke because I think I've deleted it. I was all good to go with the other bloke. I can't remember his name anyway. But look, I don't want to lose my expertise status, so forget it. But yeah, I was looking forward to seeing the Jourdain bloke because I think he's really good. And I can't remember. Hang on, it's coming to me. Who was the other bloke who was?
Ivloev was supposed to fight Topuria and Topuria, and they're both undefeated.
Yeah, but who was the bloke who was fighting Rodolfo Vieira's? He had a bit of a strange name, I think.
Yeah, Wellington Turman.
Oh yeah, Wellington Turman. Did you? You said that to me, have you?
Yeah, I've already said that.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, mate.
I've clawed one back.
Yeah, Wellington Turmans. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, look, I don't know why they're off it. They say, like you say, Omicron versions and all that is the new chat, but it don't matter because we're on the prelims now, and the first fight on the normal prelims, because on Fight Pass they don't refer to them as Fight Pass prelims, just they refer to them as early prelims and then prelims. And the first fight on the prelims is Matt, the Steamroller Frevola. And I mean, I'm sorry, he's not being called Steamroller. He don't deserve it. He's named Steamroller versus Genaro Rayadito Valdez. What did you think of this? I mean, this was a rough one, wasn't it, eh?
Yeah, I have to say this was pretty amazing, this fight. Now, what I'm going to say is I can't believe that. I mean, I watched this fight and I kind of went, well, that's fight of the night sewn up then. It's one of those ones where you go, everyone else now is going to have to, I don't know, get a submission bonus, or, pull off a finish, to get some sort of bonus because that's fight of the night's been, sort of locked down now. Forget it. No one's beaten that.
Yeah. Anyone who's in the locker rooms, they're going to be watching this one. Going, what have I got? Look what I've got. What I'm up against here.
Yeah, forget it.
They're going to beat this.
Well, this didn't win fight of the night, unbelievably. So anyway, we'll touch on that. We'll touch on that later. But the facts
let's do that towards the end. The bonuses, because we didn't do that on the last podcast, and I forgot all about that method. All right, I should have asked you last time. I didn't think about it. All right, this didn't get it. I mean, this was great. This fight.
Yeah, this got no bonus. I thought that Valdez, although he looked a bit sloppy and stuff like that, I think that he showed stuff that you can't teach, which is the ability to scramble when you're in trouble, the ability to not just lie there with your sort of your hand around your ears and let someone hit you in the side of the head until the ref steps in. He didn't allow none of that. On about 5 or 6 occasions, there was times where he could have, if you like, mentally thrown in the towel, right? He could have just stayed on his back for a split second longer, or when he hit the deck, stayed there a split second longer, and the ref would have gone, that's enough. The reason the ref kept on having troubles stepping in.
No, he had troubles. He was troubles because he had trouble more than once.
Exactly, thank you.
And troubles was right.
he had troubles stepping in because I think that Valdez was responding before he could actually get in there. So every time he thought, now's a good time to stop it, Valdez had already sort of rolled over and was hanging onto the guy's ankle or his thigh. So to me, he showed a real, you want to beat me, you want to stop me, you've basically got to, put me out with the fairies, that kind of thing. And
Exactly.
I don't think you can teach that. So I think he's good. If he can tighten up a bit, he can be a bit of a troublesome sort of fella. But good for Frevola because he's coming off the 7-second knockout loss. So
did he? Did he get done last time? Did he?
Yeah, against McKinney, then he got knocked out in 7 seconds. So after something like that, for him to come out as aggressive as he did and not be gun shy and stay in the fire and all that, and not have concerns over his chin, shows a real good mindset as well. So a really good fight, and I can't believe this didn't get a bonus of some description. And when you see a fight like this, when it opens the card, I always get a good feeling because I think they've set the bar that high, and it's kind of this, if you like, that the crowd gets amped up and it's kind of infectious, and so the next fight kind of comes out, and it just seems to have built up a bit of momentum for the card. Well, it didn't really in this instance. It was a good card, but it didn't, wasn't amazing.
I mean, look, I know what you're saying, but you hadn't watched the early prelims. And what are you trying to say? I've just told you about them. Are they not the real build-up? The two woman fights, female fights?
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. But I'm just saying that sometimes
wasn't.
Okay, but sometimes.
Although that one, I told you that right hand crack into it on the floor and turning it around with an arm, but it was good. Yeah, undeniable. Yeah.
And then this fight, like I say, sometimes it can just sort of help build the momentum of a card. And so yeah, this was good. Great fight.
Yeah, it was.
A bit of a bar and brawl, so to speak. But
look, yeah, it was a really.
I loved that fight.
So did I. I loved it, and it's surprising that we loved it because technically it was very, very rough. It really was. So it wasn't great in that way, but it was so enjoyable. I guess if it was like the Leonard Garcia zombie one back in the days, that was very, very rough but enjoyable for a long time. This finished in round 1, so you kind of got a real good smash in round 1. 5 knockdowns. Frevola steamrollers knocked him down 5 times, and I thought it was a really, really, really enjoyable fight, even though it was rough. They say as real as it gets, and a lot of the time, and I know it is as real as it gets for a paid on TV sport, but it's very sport-like, isn't it? At times, no jabs to the eyes and finger jabs to the eyes and gouging, and no kicks to the groin and all that. This was what I'd say to someone, look, this is as close to a real fight you're going to get on telly, if you know what I mean, because it was like a real fight, really. So Matt Frevola won TKO round 1, and it was a really enjoyable fight, there's no doubt. Well, if you've got nothing else to add, I'll move on. I've got some good shots there. Rogan, look at Rogan's face there. He's like, oh my God, brilliant.
He's all red. Look at him, looks like he's about to implode. It felt like there was a couple of opportunities where it felt like the stoppage was a bit late, just because Valdez's punch resistance really started to just basically become nothing. You could have felt like a punch literally just flying past his ear would have been enough to sort of send him back to the canvas, which is always, it's kind of like he turned into Chuck Liddell in a fight. You know what I mean? Did the whole Chuck Liddell kind of career span in a fight. Good punch resistance, but then once that punch resistance got wiped out, he just basically got done with every single bit of contact. And and so it was a little bit like, there was times where I was kind of thinking to myself, really should be stopping this ref, but I can't lie. At the same time, I was like, nah, let him carry on because this is brilliant. Because he's just getting up and swinging again. So he was good, Valdez. I liked him. But
he was good. Yeah, has he been in it? Was that his debut? Has he been in it before? I believe it was. Yeah. Neither of us showing expert skills there. It might be because of what your bro said, because we've not been in the storm before. We ain't going to remember stuff like that. I think that's just down to memory, not anything to do with being in a storm or not. But yeah, he was good. It was just a brilliant fight, is the truth. So has he been in it? This is his debut, right?
His debut. He came from the Contender Series. So that's his official UFC debut, yeah.
Okay, well, look, that was good, and we enjoyed that fight. There's no doubt about it. But, in the name of yin yang, in the name of balance, you must go from a good fight to then a bad fight. It's only fair. It's only fair. And to me, this was boring. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I stand corrected. Is this the one that got fight of the night? Is it? I'm just checking.
No, definitely. Right. I mean, but I actually thought Oliveira was all right.
Sorry. It's Tony Gravely. Sorry, Gravely is what they call him. Tony Gravely. And look at the way Saimon is spelled. I mean, that's perfect. That is actually Saimon. Saimon Oliveira. And I didn't like this fight. It was a unanimous decision win.
No, I didn't like it just because it just seemed that whenever Gravely wanted the takedown, he could get it. Oliveira was too sort of hell-bent on locking up something like a guillotine or something like that rather than actually trying to stay on his feet. I think it'd have been better served just trying to stay on his feet, because there were a few occasions where when he put a few strikes together, he looked like he could do some damage. I actually thought he seemed like a decent fighter, Oliveira, but not necessarily the best fight IQ in this fight anyway. It's one of those difficult things, isn't it, to judge, because if he locks up one of those guillotines in round 3, so you kind of watching the fight going for the guillotines, you can't secure it. But then if he secured one in round 3, he's fully vindicated, right? And it's fully justified. And so, you can sit there and go, really bad fight IQ, which we definitely will get to later, because this card had the worst bit of fight IQ I've ever seen in the UFC. But you can say that, but if he did manage to lock up one of those guillotines, we'd be going brilliant finish. So it's one of those things. I think Oliveira's probably got a higher ceiling than Gravely, but he lost the fight, unanimous decision. Like I say, weren't particularly exciting, and I've got nothing more to say about it. Nothing. I think I've already said too much.
You know what? I'm going to agree with that. I said it was boring. I didn't have anything else to say about it. You have reminded me of things like that. The guillotines. Weren't he really only trying for him because it was based on Gravely doing takedowns and him, I don't know, trying them? He weren't jumping into them, was he, or anything?
I think one or two. He sort of, just to me, he would have been a bit better served just trying to fight off a few takedowns. You fight off one or two of them, it makes the guy a little bit more hesitant to actually start shooting in regularly for him, because it expends a lot of energy. If he's just like getting success with him every time, and let's say you're trying to guillotine, but the guy's confident, he's a bit of a Sean Shirk, and he's confident that you can't choke him out, then he's willing to put his head in that position. If you can't get the finish, you can't get the finish. You just end up on your back, blowing your arms out. So, I just didn't think it was the best idea from him, even though I thought at times he looked all right.
Well,
anyway,
we've had a chat about the pair of them. They're on the prelims. We covered a lot. Gravely and Oliveira, they've had some time. Not only did we watch it, we've had a chat about it as well. That's what we've agreed, and we've done it. But in the name of keeping things as snappy as possible, which we find impossible to do, hence, as you can see with evidence of this little bit of chat I've done before the next fight, I'll move on to the next fight. Further ado in it, that's the...
Without further ado.
Okay. So what? So is there? Hang on then. Okay, is there such a thing as further ado? If there's a without further ado, why have I never heard anyone go further ado, which is the opposite of without further ado?
Don't know.
I'm just asking. Never heard it though, have you?
No, I'll research it for you.
Well, we could start including it in our chat. Jack Della, Maddalena versus Pete Dead Game Rodriguez. And this Rodriguez fella, he was a late replacement for Wally Alves, which, I mean, I prefer having Pete Rodriguez in it, I think.
Wally Alves is better for sure. Pete Rodriguez.
I liked him.
Pete Rodriguez has got a dead game.
Honestly, I thought he was all right. I thought he was pretty good. At least he was doing some fight stuff, catching and parrying jabs, but he tried to counter with
with his face.
Well, look.
Yeah, and that's all you can find. No,
right. No, what I'm saying is, before he got mashed up, at least he looked like someone, and he should do. He's in UFC, but he looked like someone who's had punches thrown at him before and all that. And he was doing some of what I would say are the right things. But off one of the jabs, in this case, it was southpaw jabs, he tried to counter with a hook like this, but he was way out of range. You know, he sort of did this and went, oh, it's nowhere near, but took forever to get back to this. You know what I mean? He went, I've got to do something here. Oh, damn it, I missed. So he pulled the hook and went, I'm not going to bother with this. But he never came back. So he just got, well, you can see what happened. So he just got left wide open. And Maddalena, what's his name? Maddalena smashed him with a straight left cross, you know, because for him it was the southpaw version. So it was the winner, TKO round 1. Finished him off on the ground, as you can see there. Bash, smash, wallop, bang. Pretty good.
Yeah, I thought he looked nice and tidy. That Maddalena, it was a good performance from him. There's no doubt about it. Rodriguez didn't really see enough to make any sort of judgment calls on whether he had a bad night or he just come up against a real dangerous fella. But I thought, Maddalena, he looked good. You know, they kept on talking about that he was just, sort of fading out of range and then coming back with long straight shots. And he did, the warning signs were there early on. He landed it a couple of times early on, which is why Rodriguez's nose was all splattered and his face was bright red. He was good. I thought that's right. Yeah. I mean, look at that. Look at his leg, the skin tone of his leg, and then the skin tone of his face.
Yeah, he did get done, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
he got done a lot in one round.
Yeah, it was under 3 minutes, I think. And he got smashed. Got smashed. And I thought Maddalena looked good. He looked physically. He's got a good build for it. He looked massive. He looked long. Relatively snappy of his shots. Looked like he knows how to use his range pretty well. Was at least firing out some jabs, which makes a change. I thought he looked decent. Definitely looked decent. But you get these times where you look at some fights and go, he looked brilliant or he looked amazing. But then when they step up in competition, they don't look quite so amazing. So it will have to see him in against someone else. But he definitely looked like somebody worth keeping an eye on, didn't he?
But
he's definitely been cracked in that nose before. There's no doubt about it. Someone's.
Oh yeah, he definitely looks like a fighter, doesn't he? Eh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd dodge him on the street. Now look, the thing is, right? Dana White, I know he was high on him, if you like, because he was on the Contender Series, and I heard a little soundbite of him saying, this guy looked amazing. He was good at this, good at that, good at this. So he said definitely getting a shot type thing. So he proved himself. I like him because he's doing the pay respects Chinese kung fu thing there, and I like that. I'll have to have a word with him about that and say, yeah, you know what I mean? You into the Chinese martial arts side.
He did touch before the fight, didn't he? Turned down before the fight. The glove touch. Turned down the glove.
Oh yeah, he did. He turned it down. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, which fine. I got no problem.
It's all right, isn't it?
He's
just in now.
I can do all this stuff beyond afterwards. Respect. Pat on the back. A hug, whatever you want to do. But I've got no problem with somebody before the fight going, look, I'm here for business. I'm here for one reason only at the moment, and that's to smash your face in. So let's, cut the crap and get on with it. So I've got no problem with it. Don't makes him a bad sportsman, or I think he's he's not someone I want to support or get behind. I think it's no problem whatsoever. I like the look of him. Be interested to see him in there soon.
Looking forward to seeing him again. Excuse me, would you mind telling me what weight that was, if you know or can check? Because
wasn't he welterweight?
Looks it, but I'd just be guessing.
Welterweight.
Okay, yeah, he looks decent. There's no doubt about it. And a good fight. So there's another good fight.
Let's be honest, that weight class really could do with some new blood and some new people coming through as well. Because hasn't got many
new blood off of Rodriguez's face.
Yeah, he's got plenty of that, man.
Hey, listen, he stepped in. He looked like, he knew what he was doing just because he got done. And look, by the time he did that rubbish hook and left himself wide open, he'd been punched in the face a lot. You know what I mean? Obviously tired and everything or whatnot. Who knows? But anyway, fair play to him, stepping up and all that business, shooting your shot and all that. But that's that fight done, right? So, Brandon Moreno walking through this arena was the next thing that happened with his wife. And it was absolute length.
That's the move.
Eh?
That's the move Moreno done, isn't it? He done these fingers to the camera, and then
right. Okay.
It did actually look pretty cool. To be fair, I hate it when people do stuff like that. But I actually looked at it and went, "Yeah, actually looked pretty good." That he did look
jealous,
like, yeah, he did look like cool. Oh, I didn't like his wife's dress though. Looked like she was wrapped up in sort of sugarcane leaves or something like that, or bamboo leaves or something.
Yeah, with trousers. Underneath that top, with trousers.
Oh, was there? Yeah, just like a rock hard, like green top that was.
Oh yeah, they were
sticking up in the air. Yeah,
plastic, like you say, quite a good one on those massive leaves or whatever.
Yeah,
it was rock solid, that suit that she was wearing, just like, I don't know, like on a plastic toy where they've got clothes on, but they're not actually on. Molded flesh. Yeah.
He looked quite good. I thought his suit and that, he looked quite good. Usually when people go for a non-run-of-the-mill suit, like a bit of let's call it a McGregor suit, because let's be honest, that's what it is. No one wore these crap suits until McGregor started wearing them. But his one actually looked all right. He looked like a golf player or something like that. He looked all right.
But what was silly was that I had to watch. I didn't have to. I could have fast forwarded. But 1 minute 12 seconds of them walking together. It felt long, right? And I went, "Is that long?" No, because maybe I would have just fast forwarded this and wouldn't have noticed, right? But then to prove it right after, you get Figueiredo walking in, and I thought, I'm going to time it, and that one was 46 seconds, so still quite long. But I did think Moreno's felt particularly long. It's broadcasting stuff, though, isn't it? Maybe they go, look, we've got this much time and whatever. I don't know. But it looks silly. And I bet the wife was also, I don't know, maybe she loves it all. But if it was me on the arm of the champ or whatever, be, right, enough's enough, man. I mean, in 12 seconds of just me walking.
I'd like to see that, you on Brandon Moreno's arm.
Would you?
Walking slowly into the arena.
Am I bigger or smaller than him? I know I'm more bigger in some ways. What about the height?
Much bigger than him.
Yeah,
he's only little, isn't he? I know you're not massive, but he is little.
Well,
you're bigger than him in every way. You'd fill that top out, no problem. No problem.
I'm sure I would. Yeah, many tops I fill out, no problem. So let's move on to the next fight. Right, this is the last fight on the prelims, which is quite good. We burnt through them, but I think, like you say, a couple probably dropped off. Raoni Barcelos versus Victor La Mangosta Henry. Now, you got stuff to say about this, have you? Yeah. Do me a favour. We're on Ultimate Fighting Chat. Share your thoughts, please. Please do. Share your thoughts.
Should be in a metal band, shouldn't he? Victor Henry in that picture. He'd be good in
metal there, for sure.
Old Megadeth, Iron Maiden, whatever. He'd look amazing in one of those bands. But
he looks like Nick Menza, Megadeth's drummer. He looks like you say, an 80s metal. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got to say on this fight. No.
All right. But moving on then.
I've done on my chats on this fight because I sent them to you as the fight was happening. So
yeah, but I told you I ain't bothering with this because you need to talk to me about it on here.
All right.
So let's speak about it, right? We've never seen this Victor Henry before. Agreed?
No, and we have seen Barcelos, and we thought he was wicked. Very, very good. Not just a bit good, very good. We've done the same comparisons that everyone's ended up doing now, so I don't want to say them. So it's a little bit like the 50 G's, baby. I don't want to say this because everybody says it, but
I know what you're saying. I know what you mean and all, but
yeah, he has got these sort of a little bit of an Aldo vibe about him. I'm going to say it. All right, it's done now. But
that's it.
He was also the biggest favourite on the card. He's been good in the UFC. It's go through. I think he's won his first, by the looks of it, won his first 5 fights. And then he lost a decision against Valiev, very, very hotly contested decision against Valiev before going into this. So it could easily have been 6-0 in the UFC. Thought it was a very, very tough ask for Mr. Henry to come into, find somebody who, let's be honest, has got already built himself up a decent little reputation. And I know that Henry's had a lot of fights, 30 plus fights, so he's experienced. It's still a bit of a rough debut. Not the roughest of debuts, but
was this another short notice? Why would he get a Barcelos?
Yeah, I believe it was a short notice replacement. Henry was. He actually even said it in the after interview, didn't he? They said Barcelos on 2 weeks' notice, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm 34, I haven't got too many runs left in me.
So I'm going to come in and have a smash, yeah.
And I was watching the fight, and about 2.5 minutes in, I was really impressed with him. You know all this, right? Because I sent you the messages. So this isn't me.
Yeah, but I banned it. I listened to a bit, and then I went, forget it.
I'll tell you what I said. At 2.5 minutes into the first round, I moaned to you on message, which you won't have listened to. And I
did listen to some of it, but look, there's also a big, massive, worldwide world of people that are also going to want to hear this.
They want to know.
Not just me.
They want to know. That's it.
What's up?
Well, I'll let them know. 2.5 minutes in, all I'm hearing is a loving with Barcelos from the commentary team. Cormier, Rogan, just non-stop. Was it Cormier? It was Cormier, wasn't it? Can't even remember.
It was Cormier, yeah.
I barely remember him saying anything on the card. But anyway,
I was going to say, I wasn't sure because it's not normal for him to be on it and not go and do the post-fight chats. But Rogan was there. Yeah. But you're right, he did. I barely remember him being in it. Is the truth, yeah.
And 2.5 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in, I said, I'm getting pretty bored here because this Henry's coming against a real live wire and he's shaping up nicely. He's rolling with all the shots. So even when he was getting tagged, he was still rolling with those shots. He was firing back after, taking shots. He didn't seem intimidated. He didn't seem to have octagon jitters. Nothing. And
no one mentioning that, no?
No, and not that I remember. I just remember them going, "Oh, Barcelos." Good thing about Barcelos. Oh, Barcelos this. Oh, look at that shot from Barcelos. Well, the thing with Barcelos, it was just all the way through Barcelos. I was like, you know what, this Henry guy is decent, and you need to start focusing on some of the stuff he's doing because when they're having these exchanges, he's also throwing back. He's also clipping Barcelos from time to time. He's not intimidated. And I think I sent you a message about 2 minutes later, so still about maybe a minute to go in the round.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, already the momentum of this fight has shifted. Barcelos is looking a bit more ragged. Henry is now the aggressor. He's controlling the center of the cage. If anyone is going to get rocked in the near future, it ain't going to be Henry. And then with 30 seconds left to go in the first round, Barcelos got rocked. And then at that point, yeah, I could see it coming.
And that's why you sent me a message, because you wanted to say to me, look, I'm watching this live and I want to tell you my reactions before they happen to prove that you don't have to be in the storm to know what's going down.
Do you remember I said to you a little while ago, there was a fight I was watching. I said to you, they're talking about this guy. I can't remember. I think it might have been Phil Hall's last fight.
Right.
I said to you,
I know, Chris Curtis.
Yeah, and I said to you, any second, Hall's is going to get knocked out.
Oh, sorry, it was Hall's, but it was, that fight, with Curtis and Hall.
And then literally 30 seconds later, he got knocked out. Do you remember that? And
I do remember.
This was the same thing. I was watching it going, okay, I know Barcelos is wicked. I've got no problem with you telling me he's wicked. But why are you not looking at what's happening in this fight and judging it on an even playing field and looking and going, this Henry's coming though, and he's shaping up nicely. He's rolling with the shots. He's firing back. He's not intimidated. Towards the last couple of minutes of the round, he's actually starting to control the center of the cage a lot more. Witt seems to be gaining the momentum in the exchanges. None of that sort of stuff. And then when he did rock him with about 30 seconds to go, then they started, if you want, putting some, sort of substance behind Henry.
Yeah, he's good, this guy,
Yeah, exactly. Then also,
he's been good.
He's really good, Henry. Yeah, it's like, where were you for the previous 4 minutes? So it's really frustrating. And the truth is, after that first round, I was pretty convinced that Henry was going to stop him. Probably get a late stoppage, maybe round 3, maybe stop him in round 2. But it just seemed that the one thing that I'd worry about with this Henry, I thought he was really, really good, this guy. Really, really liked him. But the one thing I worry about with him, it just doesn't seem to have much power. And it's always going to be a hard night's work. It seems like it's always going to be volume over being able to really rock and finish someone. Might be wrong, but it just didn't seem like he had, it's going to be an accumulation of shots that's going to get him these stoppages, not, banging people out. And ultimately, and inevitably, that can, cost you at the higher level, maybe. You need to have a little bit of that sort of that threat of being able to concuss somebody with one shot. So
is that something you can train for, or is that just natural, DNA version? I'm sure there are things you can do to train for it. There will be, but do they work? Is it just that thing of you're born with it?
It's like anything, you can increase power, punch power, all these things. But yeah, a couple of things. Fighting style. I don't think he's the kind of fighter that loads up on his shots. Right, he is more the volume guy, throws combinations rather than loading up on single big overhand rights. So there's one thing. And the other thing is sometimes it can be down to genetics. Someone like Julian Jackson, for example, could knock someone out cold with a punch that looked like he basically put little torque or little effort into. But yeah, he caught people and they're just crumble. And sometimes you'll see people who throw a lot of power behind their shots, right? So take someone who's on the card later, someone like a Cody Stamen, wins big, massive shots like he's, throwing them from, a baseball or something. Have you ever seen him get a concussive knockout? He may have done, but I don't really remember it. So sometimes you get these people who give the illusion that they carry a lot of power, but it's not there. So I think it is partly, all very heavily genetic. So, but anyway, the long story short, I thought, long story long, I think Victor Henry was really good performance. And just would have been nice if the commentary could have picked up on these things a little bit earlier than they did. That's all.
Yeah, it is their job to do that and to just watch the fight. Just say what they're seeing, really. And that's all you were doing. You were saying you're seeing, going, look, I know this Barcelos is getting a lot of love here, but I can see things happening. And I was the same. I was like, this guy's good. What I was thinking was, I don't know who this bloke is, but this Henry fella, he was a nice surprise, a good addition. I was like, brilliant. It's what made this card good, really, because we had things that we weren't expecting, people we didn't know. The previous fight, the Maddalena bloke, and this guy was like, well, this is good. Got some good new blokes, I think this bloke was good and all. But I really like Barcelos and all. They're both good, and that's what it made for a good fight and all, didn't it? Good.
Yeah, they're both brilliant, and makes you wonder sometimes, doesn't it? Someone like this Henry, as good as he is, 30 plus fights. It's like, why is it taking him 30 plus fights to get in there? Is it just bad luck, not being in the right place at the right time, not having the right connections, this kind of stuff? Because we've got Pete Rodriguez there. I think he was 4-0, and he was in he's in the big show after 4-0. Yet this Henry's had got a really good record, over 30 fights. And that's his UFC debut. He's 34 years. Where was he? Why didn't someone pick up on him at 20 fights, 15 fights, 25?
Like you say,
almost 35 fights to get in there when he's clearly very, very good.
Let's find out who represents him. Which one of these managers?
Well, that's what I mean. It could be that. Right? He don't train. He trains with Josh Barnett. Not really seeing many Josh Barnett guys in the UFC.
That's right. He was doing the punches at the back.
Yeah, it's like if you're at ATT, you just got a better chance of getting in there than, if Dana needs someone on short notice, probably gets on the blower to, not Dana does, but, someone probably gets on the blower to ATT. Got any young kids coming through that we can throw in there? But if you're from a jump, sorry?
I got this old bloke. I ain't got any young kids, but I got this old bloke called Henry, and he's brilliant.
Yeah. So he was good. Good for him. Let's hope he can make a little bit of a...
Victor Henry, nice one. Be looking forward to seeing him again as well. So that is the end of the prelims. And I think we will do the main card, but let's not do it now. Let's end this one and we can have 2 vids. But that's it. No need to go. Do you want to say anything more about these prelims?
No, it just had a nice mix, didn't it? You had the real slobber knocker to start with. Yeah, you had a little bit of a lull with the second fight, but then you had, a really good prospect, Maddalena, a bit of a sort of a, bit of an overly dominant performance. But, he looked good. So you got a good prospect out of the prelims. And then you got a sort of a nice surprise back and forth affair to finish it off with another good newcomer. So pretty good prelims, really.
It was. Yeah, I agree. A nice little breakdown from you there. And don't forget, on the early prelim, Smashdown, armbar.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah, So all in all, it was good. That was Vanessa Demopoulos, which was, that was a good fight. So there you go. That's the Ultimate Fighting Chat podcast for UFC 270 Ngannou versus Gunn prelims. And we'll leave it there, like I say, and I'll catch you for the main card version. What? Oh, that's more.
No, it was that version. It weren't the.
Yeah, okay, but that's more Winston Churchill or Jappers, really, isn't it? They're the.
Well, that's Churchill's, wasn't it? Victory.
Yeah. What's the Jappers one? It's just like a cutie thing, isn't it?
Pikachu, probably.
Is there, what is that in Japan? Because they do it a lot. Do we know? Is there a reason for this sign? Because a lot of them do it. We know what Churchill's was, but what do we know? Yeah. Find out.
I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Find out. I'll speak to you in a bit for the main card. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Later.
See you later.